In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. Tasin. These are the verses of the Quran, the clear book. It is a guide and good news for the believers, those who establish prayer, pay alms tax, and have sure faith in the hereafter. As for those who do not believe in the hereafter, we have certainly made their evil deeds appealing to them, so they wander blindly. It is they who will suffer a dreadful torment, and in the hereafter they will truly be the greatest losers. And indeed, you, O Prophet, are receiving the Quran from the one who is all-wise, all-knowing. Remember, when Moses said to his family, I have spotted a fire. I will either bring you some directions from there, or a burning torch, so you may warm yourselves. But when he came to it, he was called by Allah. Blessed is the one at the fire, and whoever is around it. Glory be to Allah, the Lord of all worlds. O Moses, it is truly I am Allah, the Almighty All-Wise. Now, throw down your staff. But when he saw it slithering like a snake, he ran away without looking back. Allah reassured him, O Moses, do not be afraid. Messengers should have no fear in my presence. Fear is only for those who do wrong. But if they later mend their evil ways with good, then I am certainly all-forgiving, most merciful. Now put your hand through the opening of your collar. It will come out shining white, unblemished. These are 2 of 9 signs of Pharaoh and his people. They have truly been a rebellious people. But when our enlightening signs came to them, they said, this is pure magic. And, although their hearts were convinced the signs were true, they still denied them wrongfully and arrogantly. See then what was the end of the corruptors. Indeed, we granted knowledge to David and Solomon, and they said in acknowledgement, all praise is for Allah, who has privileged us over many of his faithful servants. And David was succeeded by Solomon, who said, O people, we have been taught the language of birds, and been given everything we need. This is indeed a great privilege. Solomon's forces of jinn, humans, and birds were rallied for him, perfectly organized. And when they came across a valley of ants, an ant warned, O ants, go quickly into your homes, so Solomon and his armies do not crush you unknowingly. So Solomon smiled in amusement at her words, and prayed, My Lord, inspire me to always be thankful for your favors, which you have blessed me and my parents with, and to do good deeds that please you. Admit me, by your mercy, into the company of your righteous servants. One day, he inspected the birds and wondered, why is it that I cannot see the hoopoe, or could he be absent? I will surely subject him to a severe punishment, or even slaughter him, unless he brings me a compelling excuse. It was not long before the bird came and said, I have found out something you do not know. I have just come to you from Sheba with sure news. Indeed, I found a woman ruling over them, who has been given everything she needs, and who has a magnificent throne. I found her and her people prostrating to the sun instead of Allah, for Satan has made their deeds appealing to them, hindering them from the right way and leaving them unguided. So they do not prostrate to Allah, who brings forth what is hidden in the heavens and the earth, and knows what you all conceal and what you reveal. He is Allah. There is no God worthy of worship except Him, the Lord of the mighty throne. Solomon said, We will see whether you are telling the truth or lying. Go with this letter of mine and deliver it to them. then stand aside and see how they will respond. The queen later announced, O chiefs, indeed a noble letter has been delivered to me. It is from Solomon, and it reads, In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. Do not be arrogant with me, but come to me fully submitting to Allah. She said, O chiefs, advise me in this matter of mine, for I would never make any decision without you. They responded, We are a people of strength and great military might, but the decision is yours, so decide what you will command. She reasoned, Indeed, when kings invade a land, they ruin it and debase its nobles. They really do so. But I will certainly send him a gift, and see what response my envoys will return with. When the chief envoy came to him, Solomon said, Do you offer me wealth? What Allah has granted me is far greater than what He has granted you. No, it is you who rejoice in receiving gifts. Go back to them, for we will certainly mobilize against them forces which they can never resist, and we will drive them out from there in disgrace, fully humbled. Solomon asked, O chiefs, which of you can bring me her throne before they come to me in full submission? One mighty jinn responded, I can bring it to you before you rise from his council of yours, and I am quite strong and trustworthy for this task. But the one who had knowledge of the scripture said, I can bring it to you in the blink of an eye. So when Solomon saw it placed before him, he exclaimed, This is by the grace of my Lord, to test me whether I am grateful or ungrateful. And whoever is grateful, it is only for their own good. But whoever is ungrateful, surely my Lord is self-sufficient, most generous. Then Solomon said, Disguise her throne for her, so we may see whether she will recognize it, or she will not be able to. So when she arrived, it was said to her, Is your throne like this? She replied, It looks to be the same. We have already received knowledge of Solomon's prophethood before this miracle, and have submitted to Allah. But she had been hindered by what she used to worship instead of Allah, for she was indeed from a disbelieving people. Then she was told, Enter the palace. But when she saw the hall, she thought it was a body of water, so she bared her legs. Solomon said, It is just a palace paved with crystal. At last she declared, My Lord, I have certainly wronged my soul. Now I fully submit myself along with Solomon to Allah, the Lord of all worlds. And we certainly sent to the people of Thamud their brother Saleh, proclaiming, Worship Allah, but they suddenly split into two opposing groups. He urged the disbelieving group, O my people, why do you seek to hasten the torment rather than grace? If only you sought Allah's forgiveness, so you may be shown mercy. They replied, You and your followers are a bad omen for us. He responded, Your omens are destined by Allah. In fact, you are only a people being tested.